Welcome to Bold Moves, the show spotlighting fearless trailblazers, entrepreneurs, and visionaries forging new paths across Arizona and beyond. Each episode, we dive deep into uplifting stories, game-changing strategies, and the unstoppable spirit powering real transformation. Whether you're launching a business, chasing a dream, or reshaping your community, get ready to unleash your boldness. Join your host, Matt Torres, as he sparks your imagination, amplify action, and help you thrive. So buckle up and let's ignite your boldest moves yet.
So we are back with the Bold News podcast, and I've got a really awesome guest. So I have Erica Carpenter, and Erica is kind of like, her story is pretty wild in the best way. So she spent nearly 2 decades in construction, restoration, drywall, general contractor work, you name it, like she's done it. But then she pulled the ultimate bold move. She walked away from it all to scoop dog poop, literally. But I don't want that to fool you, because she is the founder of Pet Waste Management, which is an eco-friendly pet removal business that keeps yards clean and the noses of everybody in that yard happy. But it's a really honor to have you on the show. I just want to thank you for coming on, and I'm really excited to hear your story. Oh, you're also the mind behind what we're going to talk about, which is Build Hers, right? Which is a women in construction networking event. So I'm really excited to have you on the show and start talking about this.
Thank you.
Say hi.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. Yeah, my story is an interesting one, to say the least. So yeah, I'm excited to share it.
Very cool. I want to give everyone just kind of like a quick how we met, because we just met today.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you are friends with Afton, which is also who I know from BNI. And
Correct.
You're also now in BNI too. And
not yet. Not officially yet, but I'm making my way around, meeting people, trying to find a good chapter to join. Because you want to make sure you get a good chapter to join.
Well, I can say the chapter that Afton's in is probably like one of the best chapters
it's top tier.
out there. I'm just saying, I'm unfortunately I can't go anymore just because, we've got 2 people from our office there and just didn't work out. But, and I'm not doing sales anymore. I'm doing more tech stuff, but still I love everybody in that chapter. And I'm pretty sure if you've seen the podcast, you've seen a lot of people.
There's so many from there. I love it. Desiree is a close friend of mine, and cool. Asia's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, it's cool to be able to we know the same people.
Yeah, those 2 are like a dynamic duo.
Oh, they are.
But awesome. So just so everyone knows, our show is about talking about bold moves that people take in their lives, the good, the bad, the ugly. And, we talk about, what happened. We dissect it. If it was something that just totally went off the rails, we talk about what we learned from it. But on the flip side, if it was a slam dunk, a home run, we praise that and talk about that too. So
yeah, how we got there.
Yeah. So I kind of want to kick things off and just kind of let you talk about that dramatic, or pivotal moment for you that, helped you or kind of sparked you to kind of take this bold move in your life.
Man, where to start? So yes, like you said before, I have about 19 years in a construction restoration background. That's where I started right out of high school. I was not a college girly. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to go back to school. And I got a job at a restoration company. I had no idea homes could even flood. No idea that water damage was even a thing inside of a house. So it was a big learning curve for me. And I loved it. I realized that I was very young and I got into a kind of family-owned restoration company, and I grew and I grew and I made great money. And I realized that wow, females in this industry, women in this industry can go leaps and bounds. And so I loved it, and I just continued to grow with it. So at one point I managed a drywall company for a single trade drywall company for new builds. So I got to learn the new build process. All the builders throughout the valley. That was a really cool situation. And then I did typical GC work, general contracting for commercial and residential. And after 19 years, you get a little burnt out. There's definitely a burnout phase. I think a big part of what pushed me to start my own company, because people had told me oh, you're great in construction, you should start your own construction company. And I knew that I just wasn't prepared for that. I knew that I don't know enough to be successful. And it's a super flooded market. Mm-hmm. The reality is there's tons of people that do construction here in the valley, which is great. there's amazing, great companies too. I've worked for a lot of them. So it's taught me a lot, but I realized that I'm working for all these companies when I could do something on my own in the same realm. Starting at the problem that I realized was that as I was like working for other companies, I had great ideas and I cared a lot, probably more than I should have. And I realized that I was like caring and putting all this time and effort into somebody else's business and making them grow, which is great because it all trickles downhill. But that's the problem. It trickles downhill. So I realized that I'm like, why am I working so hard to benefit somebody else when I could be working just as hard and benefit me and my family? And so I had, I was doing business development for a general contractor, and I thought maybe by like doing networking and business development that I would enjoy that more than like running projects. Yeah. And I just realized it wasn't filling my cup the way that it used to. I wasn't getting the same enjoyment out of it. The market's just a little bit different now. And so I was like, something's got to change. So I had a nice little, come to Jesus meltdown with my husband. And what's funny, so about backstory, which makes this story just even that much funnier. So about 8 years ago, my now husband and he didn't have a job at the time, and he was kind of living off of some funds that he had saved. And he was like, well, I need to get a job, but I don't want to work for the man. Like, what should I do? And I go, you should go around and do like waste removal. And he's like, what do you mean? And I go, like, go around and pick up like dog poop, like waste removal for dogs. And he's like, that's not a thing. And I go, oh, it's a thing. It's 100% a thing. And I go, people make great money. And so he joked and he's like, we'll call it poop, scoop, and boogie. And I was like, yeah, totally. So it was just like a dream, like a funny conversation that we had 8 years ago. So this past year, because I just started in April, like March, April is when I got this up and running. Yeah. I'm having a, conversation with him. I go, okay, what do I do after 19 years in this one field? Like, what do I do that will still make me happy, that I'll still enjoy, that I can still work really hard at and put my all into it? And he was like, you should start like Poop, Scoop, and Boogie. Fun fact, there is a gentleman in Prescott that already has the name. So okay. We ended up with Pet Waste Management, which I actually prefer better. I like the name better. And I was like, you know what? At this point, I would literally rather clean up shit than be in construction anymore. And that's kind of how Pet Waste Management started. Okay. To backtrack, as I was working for a general contractor, I had gotten into a B&I. We was in a B&I for a restoration company that I was working with. And so I got to learn about B&I and networking and, the giver's gain and all of that stuff, which was really, really cool. So as I started meeting more and more people through B&I met tons of females in the trades, tons of women in the trades. And I'm like, oh, hey girl, we all do the same thing. And we had the same pain points and we had the same frustrations and funny stories. And so essentially we put together a lunch, and we had 8 women show up to this lunch. And then we're like, hey, we should do like a happy hour and invite other women, like, oh, I've got a friend that does this, and I've got a friend that does HVAC, and I've got a friend that does inspections. And so we're like, yeah, let's do it. So we started putting on happy hours. So our first happy hour was, I think it was like 23 people or so, but it was all women in the trades. And then that happy hour, they're like, all right, when's the next one? When's the next one? And they just kept asking, like, when's the next one? So we started in October of last year of 2024. And we started Build Hers. And essentially it's networking for women in construction. Wow. And it's grown from, 15, 20 members to our June event. We had about 130 women show up to our event. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah. So in the midst of all of that, that's also something that I divide my time into. Those are like 2 full-time jobs. Oh, they basically are. They are for sure. Yeah, it's been fun. I'm super busy, but the reality is I love it. Like the joy that I get out of bringing these women together and teaching women how to network with each other, and what's cool about it that's a little bit different than like the B&I. So like B&I is only one trade, one category, one person. What's cool about this is we'll have 5 roofers show up. We'll have 3 or 4 general contractors show up. And what's great, and even when I did general contracting, I had another general contractor call me and say, hey, I have a job on the west side. I don't want to go over there. Do you want to do it? yeah, girl, let me have it. And we took care of it for her. Yeah. So what's cool is like, even though we do the same thing, like I tell these women all the time, like, trust me, you can collaborate and build together over this competition aspect of it. And so that's kind of what our group is really about. It's about collaborating with other industries or other fields that you might not think that you would have combined interests or power partners with. But it's we have a little hashtag. It's community or collaboration over competition. And so, yeah, so it's been really cool to like just bring these women together and help them network with each other and grow their businesses.
Yeah, that's a really good hashtag, like motto, collaboration over
competition. Yeah.
Because I don't know how many times I've heard it said, but like there is plenty of business out there to go around for everybody.
So much.
Like if one person, they can't take on the entire,
right.
Like, it's just... Like even like in the insurance industry, we work with other insurance companies.
100%.
You know,
yep.
Because,
all the time.
Yeah. It like sometimes they don't write certain carriers or certain lines of business, and another insurance company does. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. It's just wild. Yeah, that's a really cool concept and a really cool idea to bring all of those in that industry, all of those people together, and you can kind of like crosstalk and stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. We've had women come that have been in like the electrical unions, welders that are learning how to weld, and they're in the welder union. Like it's been so cool, the dynamic of women that we've gotten, and it's grown to so much more than just construction. Now we have like supporting industries, we have realtors, we have bankers, mortgage. We have some estheticians that show up, some girls that do lashes and massages. And I'm like, the reality is these business owners are not taking, the self-care goes out the window when you own a business a lot of the times. And so I'm like, hey, if I can put you in front of somebody who you're like, oh yeah, I'd be comfortable with letting you do that. Or, oh yeah, I do need that service. Okay, well, let's figure it out. And then, I just made those connections. They've made connections. They've grown each other. Like, it's just it's a cool circle, giving circle.
Yeah. Is it like, are you like making money from it? Like, is it profitable, or is it like a not yet quite there?
Eventually I would love to, because I spent a lot of time and a lot of money putting them on together. We've actually started, because we've grown to so much bigger. I've put together kind of a sponsorship pitch deck to be able to offer to companies that want to sponsor certain things or get their name out there. We just hit 1,000 followers on our Instagram page, I think on Monday. Yeah.
Nice.
So we're growing the community. And so it's a great way to kind of get some advertising out there. And now you're in a network of all these women. And we know how much women like to converse and work with each other and everything. So it's been beneficial when it comes to that. We haven't done any exchanging of monies. I haven't gotten paid on it. We've had talk about, do we do a membership? Do we charge per event? Do we do, and there's a lot to look at when it comes to that, because my biggest fear is that I don't want to charge a membership and then lose companies that might not be able to pay the membership. I'm a starting new business, paying $1,000 to a networking event seems astronomical right now, but if it's, hey, if it's $50 for a year and you get to come to all the events and you get access to all the trades and the contractors and everybody that's in the group, is that does that bring value to it? Would paying per event would that bring value to you? So there's a lot of things to kind of digest and figure out what would be the best way to still bring value and then also still bring value to me.
Yeah. That's cool.
So yeah.
Okay. So, man, almost 20 years in construction. How did you get into the construction business to begin with?
Funny story. So back when I was right out of high school, I was looking for a job. This was back before smartphones and Google and everything was online. So a lot of we looked through jobs through Craigslist, Backpage, random ads like that. And so I found a ad for a restoration company called Dry Force, DRY. That's important for the rest of the story. So I get a call and they're like, hey, we need, we're looking to hire a dispatcher. Can you come in for an interview? And I'm like, yeah, great. So they tell me the name of the company and I hear Drive Force. So I'm thinking it's a car company, a rental car company, something in the realm of driving, maybe like a logistics company, something like that. But again, it's not like we had Google to like look up these companies. They barely had a website at that time. Yeah. And so I go into the interview, and that's when I learned that about restoration, and that homes could flood, or that, you know, when a house catches fire, you can actually repair it, not just tear the whole thing down and start over. And so I got to this interview, and I realized it has nothing to do with cars or driving. And I was like, okay, all right, well, and I am a firm believer in fake it till you make it. And I just went along with the interview, and I'm like, yep, okay. And the reality is it was just a dispatch position. It was taking calls and finding the right technician and sending them out to address a flood or water damage. And so it was super simple. It was an easy job. To me, it felt like a 911 dispatcher. Like, I felt like I was saving the world. But it was great. And so that's essentially how I got started in construction. Was I thought I was going for a driving or a drive or car type of company, and it ended up being a restoration company. And then I realized that, like, I made great money. I learned a ton. And there was a lot of these companies that are usually husband and wife, or just the guy that's running them, and he has nobody in the office to help. He has nobody to handle all the admin stuff, handle the phones, handle the paperwork. And so I learned very early on, 20, 21 years old, that I'm like, okay, this is where it's at. Like, this is where you make good money. Like, screw college. I can do this, kind of thing. So,
you know what? It's so true. Like, I went back to college, like, when I was old. So, like, when I first went into school, it was like, I don't know, right out of high school, and I failed all my classes. Like, I dropped out after like a year and a half, and then I went to like go work for the sheriff's office. And
there you go.
Detention officer,
Yeah.
But then, life fast forward, and I come back, 10 years later, and I go back to school because I want to do like military stuff. And so I'm like driven because, like, in order to get like there, I have to get that.
You have to go to school.
Yeah. Yep. So I think I got my degree, and if there was underwater basket weaving, I would have taken that. I did interdisciplinary studies, which is basically kind of like a meld of like all these courses that was like, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
And so I started out like music ed, and then I got like some business classes. I just kind of like pieced them all together.
There you go.
And it worked. But it's so funny because, like, I don't use my college degree like for anything. It's like a piece of paper.
Right.
And it's like, I do like tech stuff, coding, which I wish I would have gone back and did like a computer science degree or something. But
and gotten yes.
But I mean, I've just been self-taught and taught myself everything. Like, now with YouTube, like, you can get a whole degree on YouTube. Like,
pretty much, you can learn literally anything. Yeah. Anything. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's wild. But yeah, no, that's funny that you said that, because it made me think about that.
Yeah, totally.
So that's cool. Like, that's wild how you kind of like got that intro into general contracting, and you just kind of like
just ran with it. Yeah. So I learned a lot. I was there at that first company for 8 years, and I realized there was so much more. There was the rebuild side of it. There was not the emergency services. There was, pack outs. There's contents. There's so many things to it that it was such a world that you could get into.
I'm curious, like, was there anything that was like a catalyst for you that kind of like pushed you to like, okay, I got to make a change. Like, I need to go like do something else, or I'm going to go do this. Like, was there anything that just kind of like just set you over the edge?
Like in the beginning when I got into it, or when I started pet waste management?
When you started pet waste management, because you were in it for like 20 years, and then for 20 years, I mean, like, most people think, okay, that's gonna be your life,
Yeah.
But like, was there something that just like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back? I'm doing something else.
Oddly, I think it was a couple things that contributed to that. I think a lot of it was I realized that I was working for people that were taking shortcuts, I think is the best way to put it politically correctly, was taking shortcuts with their work and their customers and their clients. And it had been unfortunately, it's kind of an ongoing thing in that industry. And it was frustrating to see that I cared more about the outcome than the owners of these companies. And so when I realized that, I'm like, you know what, if so-and-so can chat GPT a full reconstruction estimate, I can manage to start an own business by myself. Like, I can figure that out. If I've done it this long, I'm resourceful. I can figure it out, you know, and it's, nobody teaches you how to do this. You literally have to figure it out on your own. And I think a big drive to starting my own business and making this big jump was seeing other people do it that didn't have enough skills that I did. And I was like, I know more and I can accomplish more, but I'm being held back by XYZ. And I'm like, you know what? Let's not be held back anymore. And it was really cool when I realized that, like, when I started my business, I could market it however I want. I could discount however I want. I could change my structure of the services that I offer. You know, I don't only just go around and pick up dog poop, but because I have a construction background, I can also install waste stations and service waste stations for communities and HOAs and commercial properties, hotels. I realized that there's so many other little outlets that I knew and could capitalize on. And that's where I was like, all right. And you know what? And here's the thing. If I fail, I only have myself to blame. But I was kind of sick and tired of putting my livelihood and my living and my hobbies and my dreams and my goals in somebody else's hand for them to mismanage. And so I was like, all right, we're gonna do this ourselves and we're not gonna mismanage it. And if it fails, then that's on me. And if it succeeds, that's on me. That's so that's kind of how it got started, was bad leadership pushed me to start my own thing.
That's interesting. That's been like the catalyst for me for a lot of things. Like,
really?
Okay, I'm just gonna do this because like everybody's just like doing it wrong. Like
right,
you know,
right. Like I have a great idea. Let me see if I can do this right. Yes.
Yeah. That's funny. Do you ever watch or listen to the podcast, The Diary of a CEO?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Man, so
solid.
Like, it's really good. Like I forgot who his name is, but like you'll probably recognize it if you see it. Like he's like a British guy, and then he talks to like a lot of big name people. It's like I forgot what his name is, but he had this one guest, and they were talking about. He said this guy like drew a circle on a table, and there was like a little spider in it, or a bug, and the bug would like not go beyond the circle.
Yes,
it would,
even though they could, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then like he started drawing it smaller and smaller, and the spider would like not go. And then when he drew it small enough to where he had no choice but to go beyond it, then it was like the bug realized, oh, hey, I can go beyond it. And no matter how many times he tried to draw the circle, like it would not stay because it now knew. It was just kind of interesting because like when he talked about that, he related it to like in our own like mind, we put these circles around this, like where we can't go beyond that. I'm not this, so I can't do that. Yeah. And it's just kind of like, wait a minute, like why are you putting your own like limiting circle? Like, you know, just go beyond and like once you go beyond it, like there's no stopping. Like
there's no stopping.
Yeah.
It's 100%. Like it's so true. Cause like when I first started, my biggest thing was I was like, well, all these scooping companies have websites because they need people to go to see their pricing. So I started reaching out to people that build websites. I've never built a website before. I have no idea. I don't even know code. Nothing like that, right? I wouldn't even know where to start. The fact that I even bought a domain was like, good job, girl. You made it that far. And so I started reaching out to companies and figuring out, and I mean, I got quotes from $8,000 and it would take 6 to 8 weeks to, $2,100 for 3. And I realized I'm like, there's got to be a better way. There has to be a quicker, more efficient, cost budget friendly way. And so I started Googling, doing my research, and I realized that I built my own website from a template. And so I pay a small fee to use their template, and I was able to learn how. So you're right. The reality is that you don't know what you don't know, but when you're pushed to that point, those circles aren't containing you anymore. Now I can actually say I know how to build a website. Not really, but And so what's cool about that though is now I don't rely on anybody else to change anything on my website. Yeah. I now get to go outside the circle of my whole business and I can touch anything on it, which is very empowering for sure, is that you're not tied to somebody else's knowledge or skill set to get your job done.
Yeah. So I'm curious, you got me thinking, because I'm a tech techie. Like I started building websites when I was like in high school. Like, like
I wish I would have known you 3 months ago.
Oh, but I'm like curious. So what did you use? Like what platform or?
So I think it's called Card. It's CARRD, I think, if I'm spelling it correctly.
Yeah.
And essentially they just have like templates. So I tried to find a template that would fit. In reality, all my website needs is what we do, our pricing, and how to contact us.
Yeah. So
it was super easy. And when I realized that, like, talking to these companies that build websites, they're like, yeah, we can make this and this and this. And that's $600. That's $400. That's $250. That's this. And I was like, dang, I don't need that much. Yeah. And what's cool now is that, like, now I can go in and edit it. I can change if my pricing changes, or if I want to start offering a discount. Now I can update my website to offer that discount same day kind of thing. So it's been efficient. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know any other, so.
Yeah. No, I've used Card before. Like, they're super cool. Like,
it's easy.
Yeah. I really like their stuff.
Very user friendly.
With me being like, I like to get in the weeds and everything. Like, obviously, like, when I know what I want and it needs something beyond that, then I'll go do like something else. Yeah. But like if it's something super simple, like you can spin something up in like a minute.
It was fun because then you got to like, you could bold I figured out how to do, bold certain words and how to change the color, and you do all the coding with the parentheses and the hashtags. And I was like, man, this takes me back to my MySpace days, but like, do you remember?
Yeah,
you remember.
Dude, I remember like tricking out my MySpace page. Like
your top 8. And you had music. The people who had music, oh man, that was something else. When you figure out how to get the music from LimeWire to your MySpace.
Now we're going back. Oh man, yeah. Like
good stuff.
Like I used to tweak the HTML code and like do all kinds of crazy stuff and everything.
Oh my gosh, man. I love it.
And Tom, he was always on your
Always. That was the only picture ever. I'm like, does anybody ever know who he was? Like, did anybody actually ever meet him? Like, do we know if that picture was like actually him?
I don't know. I think it was.
I feel like if you show that picture to like kids nowadays, they would just be like, yeah. But if you show it to like our generation, we all know, hey Tom.
Yeah. It's so funny. He was like everybody's first friend. Like, oh man, that was smart.
Man.
Yeah, that's funny. I wonder, like, gosh, like MySpace was so different now. Like Facebook is completely, I don't know.
It's taken its own realm on that. It's crazy how much it took over.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Like I always get like when someone talks about website stuff, I'm always like, oh yeah, okay.
Oh, what'd you do? Yeah.
Now, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, then start going into AI and building websites with that.
Yeah.
Like it is so easy now for somebody to build a website. Like Card is just like one piece of it, but if you look at all the other web
aspects of it,
like here's one. If you go to, this is a pretty popular one. It's called Lovable.
Okay.
Lovable.dev, I think. And it's just like ChatGPT, but you can go on there and you can say, build me a website that does this, and it will build you the website. Like
it's insane.
Yeah,
and that's insane.
And if you want like complicated stuff, it can do that.
I'm just barely touching the surface of ChatGPT. Then I'm not even getting into the weeds just yet.
Yeah,
Holy crap!
Yeah. That's what I do day in and day out.
Oh my gosh,
like AI stuff, and it's just like mind blowing.
I believe it.
Yeah, so I can go off on a tangent, but I won't.
I'm like, we'll save that. We'll do lunch, and then you can teach me all the things that I need to start doing with my ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's crazy. What are some of like the challenges that you faced early on in this transition, and like how did you overcome them, or were there any challenges?
Oh, definitely. There's definitely challenges. I think a lot of it is obviously like. Getting clients is the biggest part of it, I think. There were things that I learned very early on, like allowing myself enough time to do one-time services, because I realized those take a long time. I had a customer that signed up for weekly reoccurring. I did one service, it took forever. And then the next week he canceled on me. And so I was like, dang, I don't have any safe holds against things like that. So as I started it and as I started getting clients and certain things came about, I started to learn, you don't know what you don't know. And so those all taught me great, valuable lessons. I've learned, kind of how to network with power partners and like turf cleaners and landscapers and pest controls and stuff like that. And in the beginning, I always say, like, when you're starting a business, you still have to keep the lights on, you still got to have bill money, so to speak. So I think that's been like the hardest part about it, is just keeping the lights on during this process for sure. But I also I was trying to do like kind of contractual or like side work, like I do a lot of social media stuff. So I offer that to people. I'll do add-on services. I have this sweet lady that I do her scooping services, and she's like, I got half the yard mowed. And I was like, okay, no worries. And I get out there and I was like, let me offer to like do an add-on and I'll mow the rest of her yard kind of thing. And so I like sent her a message after I left, and I was like, hey, I'm always trying to find ways to help and hustle. It's hot out. I go, for this much, do you want me to mow it the next time I, finish mowing the next time I come by? And she goes, if I can't get my kiddos to do it, then yeah, I'll let you know. And I was like, okay, great. Sounds like a plan. So I'm always trying to find different random side hustles just to try, keep the lights on, as I say. So I think that, and I'm sure, I guarantee I'm not the only one in that realm of that pain point of just like, all right. And it's funny, as I've met small business owners and other business owners, almost 9 out of 10 of them are like, oh no, I have a whole other 9-to-5 job. This is just, and it's crazy. Like the economy and what we've got into, where the fact that we have to have, a corporate 9-to-5 style job on top of like trying to start our own business just to get that freedom, just to, break those chains. So it was definitely like a hard break to do that. And I always tell people, I'm like, I have 19 years of construction experience. So I tell a lot of contractors, I'm like, hey, if you need admin help, you need help with your books, or you need help with your, putting notes in, uploading files, like stuff that you're too busy doing, I'm like, hit me up, I'll help you out. So I do a lot of that stuff for people and kind of thing. But I think that's probably the biggest like pain point of starting your own business is keeping the lights on and keeping food on the table during the process.
Yeah. The like side hustle economy has like really like taken off.
Oh, it's insane.
I think 2020 like probably sparked a lot of that.
100%. Totally. I would agree with you on that. Yeah. Like even just with like the DoorDash situations, well, and I joke, I'm like, man, I'm about ready to go do like some random DoorDashes just to bring some extra funds in, day to day. It's like, you got to bring in $100 a day. How hard could that be, kind of thing? But
yeah.
And the hustle on the market here, though, is huge for that. And everybody knows somebody, which is great because it's like, oh, I've got somebody I can help you do that. Or I've got, so it's cool. I like that aspect of this.
Yeah, that's wild. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, you got to, like, especially like building a business a lot of times, it takes a while for it to become profitable.
It does.
Still got to eat.
Still got to eat. Like, I had one client that, bless her soul, like gave me the greatest break of my small business career, if you will. But I met her at a B&I, and she was like, hey, I need your services. I just remodeled my backyard and I have 2 dogs and I can't get out there. And it's just taking, like I'm too busy. And I'm like, yeah, I got you. No worries. And she's like, I don't want to have to think about you or your services. Can I just pay you for the year and be done with it? So she paid me upfront for the year, which allowed me to it covers all of my expenses. In reality, what she paid covers my accounting, covers all of my little random fees for my domain and my Google Voice and all of these things for my small business. And I'm like, that was such a big break for me. Like, so I think I know a lot of small businesses get maybe 1 or 2 of those, and it just goes leaps and bounds. And I'm like, I'm forever grateful for her for that. And like, she's my favorite client right now. Don't tell anybody else. But no, it was cool. Like stuff like that is really awesome. So it's like, if I can try and help other people and other small businesses in that same way, heck yeah, I'm going to try. Cause it just brings so much like joy to people. Like I walked out of there like and then I cried because I was just like, thank you.
Oh man. Yeah, that's a big relief when you have like that client that just says, okay, here's like,
I trust you. Yeah. I got you. And in reality, it was for her. It helped her more than anything. Now she doesn't have to think about it. She doesn't got to worry about it. And she knows that I'm going to show up twice a week and make sure her yard's all clean.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
What's like the wildest yard that you've seen? Like, has it been like pretty crazy?
So I haven't had anything, oddly enough, like my years being in construction, I saw way worse scenarios. Wow. Like I had to do a roof inspection one time and I couldn't even get my ladder. Like I couldn't set my ladder down without like setting it in something. And I remember that house and I'm being like, I didn't know anybody at the time that did pooping, scooping at the time. So I couldn't even refer to anybody, but it was crazy. So luckily mine hasn't been too terrible. I think my hardest one was like I did a one-time service and I couldn't start until 1:00. And it was in the middle of June. And so that was like a rough one, but just because it was 115. And by the end of it, I was 20 pounds lighter in water weight and, sweating like crazy. But oddly enough, like it's very chill. It's very easy. My clients have been super great, understanding, and they're like, I don't really ever have to like deal with their dogs, but sometimes like I've got a couple where, the dogs don't get put away and they don't like me in the backyard. So, but so I'll always text and be like, hey, you've got a really sweet guard dog back here that doesn't want to let me in. But in reality, I've been very great, like blessed so far with not anything too crazy. So I don't have any like crazy fun stories just yet.
Okay.
I haven't fallen in a pool yet.
That's good.
I haven't let out any dogs in a gate yet. Knock on wood. That's what I have insurance for. But yeah, so no, we've been very good. We're gonna keep it that way.
Are you like doing it all yourself, or do you have like a team, or? So
I do it all myself right now. I will say, so my son just turned 16 in June. Oh, wow. He has his permit. And so I tell him, I'm like, all right, once you get your license, probably because he just started school, but I'm like, by next summer, like, you're going to have a fun summer job. And he jokes because he won't even pick up the dog poop at our house. And he goes, I think I'm going to get a job at Harkins instead. Like, you do you. Fine. And he's like, well, I get free movies and discount on snacks. And he's like, I don't get that with you. I was like,
he's got a point.
He's got a point. So now I know as a future boss that I now need to, like, movie tickets are a requirement. Maybe quarterly movie tickets are expected, So cool. Now I know, like, bosses, like, all right, here's how we incentivize our employees.
That's funny. Not my first job, but when I was 16, I worked at Hollywood Video.
I remember Hollywood Video.
Yes. Hollywood Video was cool. And then when I turned 18, I was able to work at Blockbuster.
Oh, snap.
Oh, yeah. Because Blockbuster, they had an age limit.
Yes.
Be like 18.
Blockbuster was a big deal.
But, man, that was like my dream job because, like, for a kid,
Right. Oh, 100%.
I'd get free movies.
Right.
Like, I'm like, dude, like, and on top of that, you got to get the movies that were coming out the next week.
Before
everyone else. So you can take them home. I'm like, kids nowadays will not
You'll
know.
never know.
No.
You'll never know what that's like. You'll never know what it's like to be like beg your parents to go to Blockbuster on a Friday night with you and a friend so you can pick out a movie to rent.
Yep.
And like that was the it place. Like I'm sure that you had a great time working there just because you knew that the weekends were like all of your friends were coming in. Yeah. Like it was like the hangout. Yeah. Like that was the Starbucks back in the day.
Yeah. I would go and I would just like walk the wall and just kind of see what movies are out there. Right.
Like just to check it out. Like, all right, what else we got?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, good times.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, and I remember like there would be a movie that would just come out and it wasn't in. It was all checked out, and I would like wait by the drop-off bin, hoping
for
that
somebody
movie
to bring it back.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would wait there like hours. Like I'm a big techie, Star Trek nerd.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I don't know why this stopped. Okay, it's still going. So like I'm a big techie, and like there was when one like the Star Trek movies came out,
yes,
and it was like checked out. I was a kid, and I would like wait like hours for this movie, and I remember like I was probably like 8 or 9 or something like that, and it was at the Fry's video store because our Fry's had a video store.
Yes, I remember the little like side by the pharmacy.
And I would go in there and the lady at the counter like knew I was waiting for this movie. And I remember like I was just like waiting. My mom was shopping and I was just waiting. And it finally came in and I remember she came up to me and she's like, here you go. And I was like all excited and she was like all happy because she was able to like, give this kid a little movie, It was so funny.
She just made your whole day. I love it. That's so cute.
And then me and my brother, we would fight because my brother liked video games.
Okay.
And it was a rule, like one movie, one game.
There you go.
We would always try to convince each other, like, just use your video to get a game. Or no, use your game to get a movie. And it's like, never worked out.
Yeah. How far apart are you guys in age?
I think we're about like 4 years. 3 or 4 years.
That's not too bad then. Nice.
Yeah. So
how funny.
Yeah. But man, my kids, they just go on Netflix or whatever, and just like it's there.
Like, do you remember when Netflix used to mail you?
Yeah.
Like the envelopes? Like, I'm like, I thought about that the other day. I was like, holy crap, do you remember when Netflix used to like mail you DVDs? Like, that was a weird time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that long ago. That was like less than 20 years ago. Like,
yeah. And that was weird.
That was
like,
weird.
I was like, you're just going to send me like a movie? Like,
and then I mail it back?
Yeah.
Odd.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Well, and the interesting thing is Blockbuster like had the chance to like acquire Netflix, and they were just basically like,
never mind.
Yeah, and then boom, they're done.
That's wild.
Yeah, like you kind of think about like, man, what would have happened if like that would have been
that had continued? You know? Yeah,
like alternate reality type thing.
Yeah, like where would the world be right now?
Yeah. But anyway,
Blockbuster shaped the world.
yeah. So anyway, I don't blame your son for wanting to go to Harkins, because I kind of
have to agree with him. You know, I am inside, air conditioning, movies, snacks. All right.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I had a friend who when they were working Hollywood Video, like you would wear like the white shirt and the cummerbund, you know, and, like the tie. It was like, to me, like I was like, whoa, that's cool.
Like you had a uniform.
Oh, man.
The things that we cared about, like that meant something to us back then, you know?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Oh man. People, never won't understand.
No.
Where
the world has come today.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I appreciate it. Like,
I don't hate on it.
Yeah.
Like it's funny now it's so funny. Like we're now starting to see that trend of the generation going back to like flip phones and like getting rid of like smartphones and things like that. It's so funny how it really does come full circle, and these trends and like I've noticed that recently is like more and more people are like, oh no, I don't have my phone with me, or no, I'm putting my phone away, I don't have it on me, or anything like that. That's like, it seems wild to me, but at the same time, like I get it. Like there's times where I have to tell myself, put your phone away. Like
it's so hard.
It is.
It's like
we're all addicted to it.
We are addicted. And it's like I think about it and I'm like, I've got my phone everywhere I go,
but then it does everything for us. Like I run my whole business through my phone. Like it's crazy if you were to take away all the benefits that you use from it, where we'd be back in the Stone Age. Like the reality is, when I was in construction, I was talking to a lot of when I did drywall, I would talk to the new build superintendents a lot. And there was one guy that I talked to, and he's like, you don't even understand. He goes, when we had to call trades, he was like, we had like a bag of like quarters. And he's like, we went to the payphone and we wrote our list of all the people that we had to call. And he goes, we called subs and trades from a payphone to like schedule things. He's like, there's no email, there's no fax, so when you think about like running a construction site back in the 80s and the 90s, before cell phones, before you had connection, communication in the palm of your hand, what did we do back then? Like, what did they do? Like, it was just so much harder. Like, it was lengthier, harder. So interesting.
Yeah. I remember my parents, my mom, she would drop me off at the movie theater. And then, like, as soon as it was done, I'd use the payphone to, like, come pick me up, no cell phone.
No, Or it was like, you be here at this time. Yeah. This is where I'll be. And if you're not here, you got a whooping.
Yeah. You don't want to know. Like, you ever see that commercial back in the day where this guy is calling collect and the dad answers, and then he's like, who's calling? He says, we ought a baby eats a boy.
Yes. We had a baby, it's a boy.
And then who is that? It's like, oh, it's Bob.
They had a boy. It was just that, and then he hung up. Yes. I do remember that. Yeah. That's so funny. Man, that's good times.
Where do you see your businesses in the next 5 years? Like, where do you see the pet waste management, and then where do you see the Build Hers organization? Like,
oh man,
where are those going?
To the sky, to the top of the world. No, I would love to. My goal for pet waste management is to get 200 reoccurring clients. Nice. So whether that takes me a year, 6 months, 2 years, that's like my number one goal, is I want to at least get 200 reoccurring clients. We live in a huge valley. It's completely doable. So I'm hitting a ton of networking events and trying to just grow that. Build Hers. It's so interesting because I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be running an organization like this ever. And then to have it flourish and grow so big. And it's so interesting. Every time we have an event, I have women reach out to me or they'll message me the next day and they'll be like, last night was amazing. It was so much fun. The energy is so different there. It's inviting, it's engaging, it's energetic. There's just something palpable about it, if that's the right word. And it's so it's really cool. I would love to grow it to essentially be like a job for me because I do enjoy, like, I like bringing the women together. I like going and meeting new people that we can host events at, that we can bring value to their business by bringing, 100 plus women into their showroom kind of thing. So Build Hers, I would love for it to just continue to grow. If I were to make a full-time living off of that, heck yeah. But right now, like, I just want to build it. I want it to be an outlet for women and in reality, it's not even a matter of like, hey, let's grow your business. Hey, come and make friends. Come and have camaraderie. We all have the same pain points. We all have the same frustrations. Like, and when you realize that like so-and-so standing right next to you is the same problem with Bobby that you have with Jimmy, you're like, oh, instant best friends, And so it's been really cool to be able to provide that. And that's my biggest thing is I want to be able to continue to provide that and just bring more women into it and have it be like a safe space for them to network and market and make friends and do business and grow themselves. A lot of these women that come, because we give them an opportunity to bring like a door prize, like a spotlight raffle prize. And if they bring a prize, they get to get up in front of the women and do like a little commercial, kind of like a 30-second little B&I commercial kind of thing. Cool. And it's cool to see the women that have been coming since October and to see how far they've grown in their presence when they're speaking. In October, in November, it was, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I'm just here doing this, and now they're here. They know half of the women that have been coming. There's new women that are coming each time. And, by July, they're like, hey, y'all, I'm so-and-so. I do this. I'm looking for this, blah, blah, blah. And you see just the personality and the character come out. And, like, that's what gives me joy. Like, money aside, that's why I've continued to do it this entire time. Like, I haven't made money doing it since October, but that's why I continue to do it, because I love being able to provide that and seeing that outcome. Like, gives me the warm fuzzies.
That's cool. So it's a real confidence builder, like having that opportunity to like, speak in front of people and share your commercial or whatever it is that you want to share. That's really cool.
I used to be the same way. Like, I was not an energetic, outgoing, talkative person. Like, I thought that was very salesy and I like shied away from it. And then when I realized it, I'm like, no, be proud of what you do. Be proud of it. I'm like, I'm proud that I pick up shit,
Yeah. It can sound like, if you're not genuine, it can sound like really salesy.
And I think that's the difference is I think that a lot of the women that have found Build Hers are looking for that genuine, true, like real woman connection. Unfortunately, there's a lot of fake women out there, and the vibe the vibe is just different. Yeah. And it's cool. It's a cool situation.
Well, what's cool is like the more that you're with like more genuine people, like the more you're around and you see what like actual genuine people, like how
they care and they want to help you.
Yeah. Then you can like spot the fakiness like a mile away.
Away. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. And it's cool because then you're like, cool, I know that I want to work with you, might not want to work with you. Yeah. And the reality is like, they'll still do business. They'll still come to the events. And I always just tell people like, hey, if there's somebody that you don't like, you don't have to do business with them. Yeah. You get to pick who you do business with, Still be a human being, be nice, be polite, but
But you know what? The great thing is sometimes those fake people don't really know they're being fake. Sometimes,
unfortunately,
yeah. And then I think the more they're around your group of people who are not, they start to realize like,
oh, I don't have to be this way, or it turns into a character change almost. Yeah.
And I'll say when I first started doing like networking stuff, I was kind of fake because like I didn't know how to.
You just don't know how to do it. You don't know how to be genuine or how to not be salesman-y. Yeah, I would agree. I probably was like that in the beginning too, like very
Yeah.
salesy.
Yeah. You're just kind of like, oh.
I know. It's okay, honey. You'll get there.
What would you tell your younger self? Like, would you give your younger self any advice, knowing what you know now? Like if you were to go back maybe 20, 30 years or even like, further?
That's a good question. Honestly, I would still tell her to get in construction. I still think that was a great outcome. I think I think I could have humbled myself in my like late 20s, early 30s more and learned more. I would probably be in a different position now if I had done something like that back then. And so like, self-reflection, I think is a big part of like, yep, if you had done something a little bit differently, you might be in a different position today. But the reality is that I'm very grateful that I've been true to myself and that I've stood up for what I care about. And I haven't ever backed down to companies or men or things like that in situations. I've always stood up for myself and I've always stood for what I care about. And so if anything, I'm proud. I think that my younger self would be proud of where I've at today. I think I've learned a lot more than I would have if I was in the same position I was 5 years ago to right now even.
Mm-hmm.
If I had changed something, as little as 5 years ago, like I think she would be proud. I think there's some things where she'd be like, "Girl, you crazy." But yeah.
Man. What's your favorite book, podcast, or resource that inspires boldness for you?
So in true transparency, I haven't read all of it, but the Let Them book is a huge one. And I think it's adapting that lifestyle to your everyday. People are going to do whatever they're going to do regardless of your influence. So let them. If they're going to explain, if they're going to be a certain way, let them. Let their actions dictate how they are in your life. And I think that once you let go of the control, that you can't control everybody, you can't control outcomes to certain things. And once you understand that and you like let it be, I think the world, and for me, I just got happier. I realized that I was like, cool, it's something that I don't have to worry about anymore. Let them be them. I'm going to continue on my path, continue on my growth and my goals, and let them be,
Is that by Mel Robbins?
Robinson? I believe so, yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard she's got some good
She has some really cool podcasts.
Yeah.
Like she has one episode on her podcast that really was essentially actually probably a big push as to why I pushed to start my own company was the being stuck, the stuck feeling. And they say that like everybody goes through this. Everybody goes through that like stuck phase. And I just remember being, waking up every day and I'm doing the same thing over and over and I'm working for people I don't like and I'm doing jobs that I don't like and I don't like the people that I'm dealing with and nothing about my life was going the way that I wanted to go. And I was like, why do I feel this way? Why am I stuck? What has to change? And so I went down a whole rabbit hole of like, all right, why am I stuck and how do I fix this? And so one of her episodes about that was huge and realizing that like, hey, you're up here. You break the circle. You can go outside and it's the paper, the circle with the spider. Like you can go outside the circle. I promise you it'll be okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of when I was like 19, worked for the sheriff's office. I was a detention officer and like I did for like a year. But
I want to know more about that.
Dude, it was wild.
Stories for days.
I remember I would go in every day and we'd have our little briefing, get on the elevator, go up, do my thing, and then shift over, get on the elevator, calm down, go to my car. And I remember there was this one moment because after a year you've been doing the same thing. There was this old guy and he was probably in his like 50s, 60s. As a 19-year-old, that's old. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
And he'd been working there that entire time, like 40 years or whatever.
His whole career was there. Yep.
And I think I don't know what he said. He said something that was like, "Yep, never gets old," or something like that, or same old, same old. And I just remember in that moment sitting there, I'm like, just like
no,
I was 19.
This cannot be it.
And I'm like, like I don't want to be doing this up and down. Like from the rest of my life. So, and then I just okay, I'm out. And I think I did drum corps and this and that stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, but it was just like, I don't want my life to be like the same.
You see it and you're like, like our generation, our parents taught us you get one job, you stay at that one job and you're happy and you work it until you retire. And it's funny, like, my in-laws, they've worked at the same job since they started, and it's funny because I'm just like, I go, how is, like, that's what we're taught. And so when you break these generational norms by starting your own business or it's terrifying to them. Like my grandmother was like, I'm just so scared for you. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay though. Like, and if anything, if you're scared for me, you know what you can do? You can tell all your sweet friends in Sun Lakes that I can come pick up their dog poop, like, and so I would agree with you on that. That's a fun one. You realize, like, I have to get out of this. Something has to change.
Yeah. Well, and I think now too, like the norm is not to be at the same job. Like even employers, they actually frown upon that. Like they're like, oh, you've been here for how long? So you're kind of stale. Like they want to see like upward like growth. Like,
correct.
Okay, what other challenges you take on?
Yeah.
What other
company? Oh, you're bored? You want to come work for me? Okay, let's do it. What can
It's so different and it's so weird. But like that's kind of the thing now, It's just so strange.
Yeah. The way the world's changed.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh, I want to feel very like wise in this one. That's a great question. Honestly, I don't know if it's not from anybody one specifically, but I think a great piece of advice that I've received over the years is to continue to just do you and not worry about the opinions or thoughts of others. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times we get held back by the opinions of others. I have a very courageous career in construction for almost 20 years, and now I pick up dog poop. But the reality is, like, I'll gladly tell somebody who has had 40 years in construction, yeah, no, I'd much rather do this than what you're doing. And so I think a lot of it is ignoring opinions, ignoring thoughts or, disingenuine comments by other people and shooting for the sky and doing you and keeping your goals and everything in mind.
Nice. In one word, how would you encourage someone to be bolder today?
One word. Oh my goodness. Man, these are good questions. Holy crap. All right. Thesaurus time. One word. Okay, repeat the question one more time. Let's hear it.
In one word, how would you encourage someone to be bolder today?
I just want to be like, go for it. But that's not one word. It's a boy. We had a baby. It's a boy. Go for it. Breakthrough.
Okay.
I think breakthrough would be a decent one on spur of the moment, spot on, right now, because I want you to break through the norms.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
A big part of what I'm about is, I'm a woman that was in construction for 20 years. That's not the norm. And the reality is I did great. And all the women in construction do great. So I'm a big advocate for that. I would be like, breakthrough and just show the world what you can do.
I like it. That's cool. Okay. Is there anything that you wanted to share with, the audience, with me, anything before we wrap up for today?
One, I just want to say thank you for having me on here. This is really cool to talk about kind of stories, and hopefully I can inspire other people that might be feeling stuck or burnout that, hey, you can do anything. You can start your own business. The sky is the limit.
Very cool. Yeah, no, thank you for coming on the show. I think your website, I want to make sure I get this right, petwastemanagement.us.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
Correct. So we service valley-wide. We offer sanitizing, deodorizing options. I even have a few homes that I do cat litter for too. So if there's people that are looking for that, I offer that. And then, like I said earlier, I do manage and can install the waste stations that you'll see in neighborhoods, communities, parks and things like that.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I think I did see that on your website, that picture. That's smart.
So
Yeah.
it's cool with my construction background. Like
Yeah.
I know how to install those correctly with the correct footing to make sure that they don't get pushed over or fallen over or anything like that. And so I've actually had a few people with like HOAs and community managers reach out to me and be like, hey, come install and service it every week, and then do your sanitizing and deodorizing in the turf areas that we have. And so I worked out a pricing plan for them specifically. And so I do more than just pick up dog poop.
Yeah.
I work with a lot of different like premier companies that need it.
That's really good. Like I never thought about that, but that is a need because
It
there are a
is.
lot of HOAs that have these little park areas
Right.
that need those little
100%. Even like business complexes.
Yeah.
Like business complexes. It's like and the reality is people take their dogs everywhere.
Yeah.
So then I also offer first response, veteran, and senior discounts. And then service dogs, like legit service dogs. I have a huge discount for those as well because it's my way to give back to the community that, I'm like, hey, you have a service dog for a reason. Let me help you with this.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you need Erica's services, I definitely highly recommend checking out petwastemanagement.us. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. You're going to find all the prices and all the information on how to get in contact with Erica to get your pet waste taken care of. That's cool. I didn't realize the cat stuff because I have a cat or cats. And
there you
that
go.
would be helpful. Very cool. Well, I thank you for coming on the show
Thank
today.
you.
I'm glad everyone got a chance to talk to you. And until next time, we are out.
Thanks for tuning in to Bold Moves with Matt Torres, where we celebrate Arizona's fiercest innovators, risk takers, and dreamers. We hope this episode sparked fresh ideas and fueled your courage to take action. Remember, real change begins with that first brave step. Stay connected for behind-the-scenes insights, exclusive episodes, and community updates. Follow us on social media to share your journey. For more inspiration, resources, and connections, visit boldmovespodcastaz.com. Until next time, keep daring, keep dreaming, and keep making bold moves wherever you are.